like love, kindness, kingdom.
Yeah,
They were there before the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay? Jesus was taught,
Yeah.
but the Bible was not there. It was taught,
Yes.
not as the Bible as we have it, isn't it?
And it's modified over the years.
How about my grandparents, my great-great-grandparents who never had contact with the Bible? Were they killing themselves? Were they sleeping with other people? Were those not the word of God?
Yeah.
You know, so there are a lot of content outside that. And once you make people believe that this is all there is, then they cannot develop.
Because think about
Then they
it.
cannot build industries. Then they cannot build businesses. Because then the understanding is that God will do it for them. And that's the gospel that they have preached to us. So they put chain on your hand. And they say that pray to God. The same person who is put chain on your hand is telling you about God. So if God can liberate you, so the same thing. You can teach people God to enslave them, and that's what has happened to us. And currently, it's also going on.
Wow.
Because you're teaching the people, you will prosper. But what do they know about finance? How do they use their time? What decisions do they make about their money? What knowledge do they get? If you want to build anything, it's this one. It's the mind. Anything that you build is the mind. Don't tell me about me. You want to build Ghana, and you say we should pray. It's not prayer. Ghana is building a cathedral now, and Ghana is going to IMF.
Yeah.
If God is the one responsible for the economy, and you're building a cathedral, why are you going to IMF?
Well, I saw.
And the economic situation shows how you manage your resources. You know, so it's personal. Even in the personal environment, how your money is personally shows how you manage your resources. If the company is going down, how do you make your money decisions? So you can't change your finances until your financial knowledge is up and your financial discipline is very up. And most of these people in churches have no clue of any financial decisions whatsoever. We just work, get money, go and buy a land. Work, get money, buy a car.
And go give money to the church.
To church.
And
And
give
then
money
say
to
that
church.
if you pay tithe, God will bless you.
Right.
I don't have problem giving money after
Right.
all those
Sure,
life.
sure.
I used to play in church.
Oh yeah.
Chorister.
Oh, you play?
Yeah, the keyboard.
Oh yeah, I play too.
Stay with the pastor.
You gotta sit down.
But if you tell people bring money, that God will make you rich, you are deceiving them. It's like you telling them that bring money, God will buff you.
It's a spiritual lottery.
It's not true. And you and the one who's taking lotto or Sakawa boys,
Yeah.
are the same. Because you teach people.
Yeah.
This is how you teach. A farmer must know how to farm.
Yeah.
You want to be wealthy, you must know how to become wealthy.
Yeah.
And obviously, the 20-year, 30-year gospel that they have preached in Africa, you see the results.
I see the results.
That's right. The Chinese come here, he doesn't go to church.
No, he works.
employ a lot of
He
people.
works 7 days, 18 days a week. I have an extra few days in there.
So I think it's the teaching.
It
And,
is,
if the teaching is wrong, the people will suffer.
and I see it in America.
And if you put American visa there and they will go, you are failed. It means that they don't even have belief in wherever that they've been planted. If they want to go and look at the and have a excursion and go back, then but if they so believe that they cannot be successful here, you are failed.
Well, I'm looking at this bag over here, and I know that. Let me see it real quick, because I know there's some goodies in here. I want to. Well, first of all, I want everybody to know exactly about the books that Obeng Darko has, and you've written 3 books here. Well, the 3 that we have: Perspective, Streamline, and Resilience. And this ties into everything that we've talked about today. And it's so important. If you are ready to change your mindset, change your life, then you're going to have to be proactive with doing it, because nobody else is going to do it for you. That's the one lesson I've learned in my journey, that no one's going to come and change my mindset for me. Nobody's going to turn my life around. I might get some help along the way, but it's going to begin with me on the inside. And with me on the inside, I had to fuel myself with information. I had to decipher the information, and I had to apply the information. And once I began to apply the information, that's when the transformation came. And so here's some resources right here based out of Ghana that you can take advantage of, and they can get this from anywhere. It's available in your stores, of course.
And on Amazon as well.
And on Amazon for all the folks that have Amazon access. But then we have here some of your items from what your message is so much broader, and the entire continent of Africa needs it. I'm just happy to be able to get this interview early in the process, because I know where he's going with it. It's like I can look back and tell folks that, see, I had him on the show before he blew up, before he blew up. But I appreciate these discussions because they're so needed. I appreciate your wisdom, because all of us need to hear this. And the continent of Africa, Ghana, those of us who are part of the African diaspora need to be able to hear this, because what it does, every time we have a discussion, it chips away at the narratives that others are trying to create for us. We're telling our own stories. We have a Ghanaian film crew here in Ghana. When I was in Tanzania, I had a Tanzanian film crew because I believe in coming back. And if we're going to elevate, if we're going to idolize the American dollar, then we're going to bring some of that back here and be able to transfer that into the CD so people can have these experiences and see that we can work together. You know, and it's not just.
And the thing is that the world virtually treats us the same, and we have common heritage in a way anyhow.
Yes.
And we must as well see that even if you say, like the gentleman, the musician that you talked about, the fact is that the more informed you are, the farther you be from such a position.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to be in Africa, no problem.
Yeah.
Don't get up and say that. Why do you want to go there?
Yeah. But his generation, he's 82. And my aunts who would be around that similar age range shared a similar sentiment. And that's one of the reasons why we were raised under that. And so, although many baby boomers did a lot for the generations that came after them, well, in America in particular, they did a lot, but at the same time, they did us an incredible disservice, meaning those people with that mindset, those who didn't have that mindset, then they didn't. I'm referring to the people who had that mindset and pushed it and projected it onto us. They did us an incredible disservice. That while they thought they were helping us, they were holding us back. Because what I say all the time, me coming to travel across Africa in 17 different countries is what sparked the interest in me wanting to learn more about my heritage in America. And I know that my ancestors in America did not bleed and die and march. They wanted me to have opportunities. So when I get that passport, I take this passport all over the world. I'm able to do things that they weren't able to do. So I honor them by coming here and not just going to Europe. I honor them by coming here and learning part of the story that they might not have even known. So it's no disrespect to them. It's actually honoring all of the ancestors who came down through that line that descend from here to say, you know what, we're back. And while we're educating one another, things that they couldn't do, now we're able to do. And so I'll always sing this song and elevate my brothers and sisters on this continent, as well as my brothers and sisters in America and in South America and other parts of the African diaspora, because we have a common history and a common thread. And as we begin to learn more about each other, someone else does not control our narratives. And then when we hear all these negative things, we can say, yeah, some of that might be true, but I have this other story to counteract that. So I'm here talking to Obeng Darko in Accra. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Jay, thank you very much. And for the advertisement, it's free.
That's right. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
For that you do for us. Thank you very much. And to any young man who lives in Ghana or who lives outside Ghana, switch the mind from the negativity. Switch the mind. The wealth, the kind of prosperity, the kind of humanity that we have. Don't switch it off. Because the world is Africa anyway. And the future is Africa. And even the present. You move around East Lagos, you move around a lot of places in Ghana now. Most foreigners are doing big farms here.
Yes, they are.
And the Ghanaians are in America. Young guys say that I will never go to Ghana. You deceive yourself. By the time you come here, you see that you're not the richest. And you're not even the happiest.
Wow.
You know, life cannot be sweeter than the one that you have on the continent. And that where you eat, speak, and cherish what you have. And even if you don't want to come, be that positive about it.
All right, we're here talking to Obeng Darko. You know how we do here at Maximum Impact. We're bridging the gap, telling our stories, telling it through our eyes, controlling the narrative. And all I want you to do is make sure that you like, subscribe, share. Make sure that you check out some of our upcoming travel adventures to Ghana and other places on the continent of Africa. And continue to empower yourself with knowledge on your own and not allowing someone else to dictate to you who you are, how you should think, and what you should do, because you have the ability to do that yourself. So until next time, take care, be safe, subscribe, like, share. Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron.